So I can walk on this omnidirectional floor in any direction I want.
Give me a god's eye view of the entire circuit right on my coffee table. I can glance back and forth between the broadcast and this miniature slice of reality, see every driver's precise position, compare racing lines, and most of all, understand the geography of the track.
So we're going to start recording, and hey, bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to the Reel2Code show. My name is Naveed Sanati. I've been out quite a bit for some time now, but I have a good reason. I've been live streaming some games, and I've been live streaming on TikTok and YouTube, as some of you know. It's been an incredible month of just hanging out and building a community, and now here I am. And on this episode of figuring out what the heck is going on with technology, and what does that have to do with us playing games and watching movies? What is going on in the tech world right now? What is going on, man? Okay, I have some stuff to show you. But before I do, we've had 2,000 subscribers on this channel. I know it's not like a crazy number to some people, but that's an amazing number to me. I appreciate every single one of you. I can't appreciate you enough for giving me and this channel a chance to provide you with some, it's not just an opinion. I'm really reporting more than anything on stuff that I'm interested on and very curious about what's going on with this transition, I would call it, of going from one medium to another, where we are now witnessing how we are going to basically step into our own movies, into our own shows. Let's jump into it. The Apple Vision Pro. Okay. There's the Apple Vision Pro that just came out. And what does it really do? What is it for? And what's going on with the idea of having something so big on your head right now? We'll dive into that in a second. The first iPhone, when it came out, it had sold about 270,000 units, where we also have about the same amount with the headsets. The whole thing really relies on developers and people coming in and working on apps that are going to really push this whole narrative forward. This whole shish kebab forward. This whole thing forward, okay? What's going on with the whole idea is this is all a presentation for what's going to come in the future. I would like to go over this video real quick because these guys have presented this really well. And I'm going to also go a little bit beyond this video and talk about some of the things that are related to it. And oh boy, hope you're ready. Check this out.
Welcome to the future, where the world is no longer what you remember. Digital overlays are seamlessly integrated into the physical environment. Virtual reality is now an essential part of everyone's life. With a blink or a thought, enter any world you desire. Gone are the days of bulky VR headsets or augmented reality glasses. The future of VR and AR is here.
As crazy as it seems, this is our future. So in this video we will dive in and explore the future of virtual reality. The technology I'm going to dive into today is something that's been in the works for a while, but now is an actual viable prototype that works. In terms of VR future technologies, this fits into phase 3 of 4 in the VR development cycle. So just to give you an idea, phase 1 is the headsets you're seeing today, bulky, full head mounted displays. Phase 2 is the transition to glasses, which will be driven by augmented reality.
Which is funny because Google had the glasses already out. Google was way ahead of its time for putting out those glasses that were supposed to be basically what we're seeing right now with Apple Vision Pro. Technically speaking, it was supposed to be very similar, but it wasn't really up to par. And again, there's nobody creating apps for it. When you don't have a slew of developers and a whole bunch of people that really understand how to use that tool and what to do with it and all that kind of good stuff. This is where it's kind of getting really interesting. We're not just really quickly going into this world. This is a real slow but coming up kind of a process. Now, I really want to figure out how to sum this up in this episode. I'm doing my best because I'm not that crazy of a tech guy. I'm also figuring this out as I'm going with you guys. There is a whole, like he was saying in this video, there are steps, and we're in a certain phase of this process. And I'm going to play this video here, and it's basically going to really dive into just the first part of it, and then I'll skip to the end of the video because he wants to talk about what he thinks is going to happen. So check this out.
Phase 3 is what we are going to talk about today, and that's AR contact lenses. And phase 4 is something else I'll talk about at the end of this video, because it's an entirely different beast. So if you haven't heard of Mojo, they are essentially a company building the world's first contact lenses that can enable augmented reality features, and one day lenses like this will be used as a replacement for VR as we know it today. The reason why I'm talking about this today, for years there have been dummy prototypes, fancy promo videos showing off the capabilities but not actually demonstrating a viable product with something that actually works. Well, now it's actually here. This tiny contact lens with a micro LED display on its surface is capable of eye tracking using a gyroscope. Because it's actually on your eye, it uses different methods to track your eye movement, opposed to traditional VR-based eye tracking with internal infrared cameras, which is actually an advantage over the older technology. The initial prototypes will use eye tracking as part of the user interface. So for example, you're going to your local supermarket, you have a shopping list, and the AR contact lenses direct you to the appropriate items on your list. Around the store, you can tick off the relevant boxes just by looking at them. The lenses that Mojo uses is actually the world's smallest micro LED lens, coming in at just under 0.5 millimeter, with just 1.8 microns in between the pixels. With current prototypes, you're only getting that green Fallout style display, but just remember, this is the equivalent of where Palmer Luckey was when he was developing his first Oculus Rift. Clearly,
seeing the same thing that Google glasses were trying to do, and it's very simple. But now again, the apps and the augmented reality environment that's already been out, and then also like eye tracking and some other aspects of the whole technology that is now allowing it to work better and for it to really be ideal. The thing is, we're basically in the 1990s, right, 1980s version of the computer when it comes to VRs, and we're putting it on our head, putting it on our like a headset kind of thing, like a helmet. When it comes to putting on contact lenses, and I'll come back to this video in a little bit. When we're putting on contact lenses, and then we also have...
So I can walk on this omnidirectional floor in any direction I want. It will automatically do whatever it needs to have me stay on the floor. And
it will do whatever it needs to also have you on the... So it's kind of like... Technically, so the holotile that Disney has created, I haven't tried it out. I don't know how it works. Based off of what I'm seeing here, it's allowing you to really start walking into your world, right? So there's the contact lenses, there's this thing. So this is interesting to me, and this is how it's not. None of this is all really being connected properly. We're not. Why is the presentation here a little different? So check this out.
The joy of connecting with your loved ones, browsing the web, or even playing games using only your thoughts. This is made possible by placing a small, cosmetically invisible implant in a part of your brain that plans movements. The device is designed to interpret your neural activity so you can operate a computer or a smartphone by simply thinking about moving.
So for me to now connect that into the proper application, because they put that, with your thoughts, you go and control the already existing phone that you have, which is, to me, that's not the plan. That will take away the whole headset, and that will take away, that should take away your phone. When it comes to the developers and putting the technology together and connecting the dots here, basically what we're doing here is now we're putting stuff in our head. That thing is supposed to connect with the VR chip on the contact lenses, and then there's something like hollow tile where you can walk on, right? And then there's haptics, which technically you're going to be able to feel what is in that environment. So if you get punched, you might actually feel it. We are technically creating the same kind of matrix that is not really like Matrix, but it actually could be like Matrix. So this is the real crazy part, I think. Connecting what they were saying with the stuff you put in your brain to control your phone. Instead of that, this is what you would use it for.
I can lower my Mac screen brightness to save some battery, increase the size of the display, and work on my projects. There is no latency, it's very responsive.
So you also have AI, that could connect all these things and, just make things a lot more smoother. Learn what you're working on, what you're watching. So basically we're getting rid of the consoles, we're getting rid of the phones, we're getting rid of the TVs. Everything is going to get plugged into you. Plugged into you. Plugged into you. So here's a really fun way of watching NASCAR, right?
Give me a God's eye view of the entire circuit right on my coffee table. I can glance back and forth between the broadcast and this miniature slice of reality, see every driver's precise position, compare racing lines, and most of all, understand the geography of the track, something that's almost impossible to convey on TV. Could use subtle eye tracking to place a telekinetic emphasis on the data that I'm most interested in, or let me overlay various visualizations on this 3D track. Maybe you could even go full Tony Stark with it. Now, we've seen so
this is the Apple Vision Pro, right? Apple Vision Pro is basically what I'm talking about here as far as what the augmented reality is going to look like, what it means, and what their presentation is to get you used to what is coming. This device is going to go away. There's nothing to be put on your head anymore. I don't even know how long that's going to take before this turns into that contact lens, and then also something in our freaking head, and then you have a hollow tile, so you can have a room that you walk into, and that room is your virtual world. And basically what happens is you have your contact lens at all times. You can see where you're walking and what your world, your reality is around you, so you don't run into a wall. But similar to Apple Vision Pro, when there's a knob that you turn, and that takes you into a virtual world, the metaverse, that is no longer the walls that you touch around. You are the walls that are in that world, that are the walls in that game, that are the walls in that movie, that are the walls in a meeting room that you're in with your friends or coworkers. But going back to this video, and just to sum it up with what he's got, this is very interesting.
It still has a long way to go, but it's really interesting to see where this technology would take us. Imagine a world where you get home after a long day at work, a few blinks and you're in the Bahamas. This is what contact lenses of the future will be able to do. For now, and I imagine the foreseeable future, the processing will be done off device, and so it will communicate wirelessly with a device capable of processing the information. External processing is the future of VR, whether we like it or not. As devices get smaller, the only way to get the required experiences is to render that information elsewhere. And unfortunately, development of processing units just isn't moving at the same rate we'd like them to. So we must turn to the cloud if we want rich and beautiful VR worlds to explore, with devices the size of glasses and the size of contact lenses. With devices like this, and the same goes for other AR displays, there is a field of view issue. With every new AR device, it seems to be an incredibly small field of view in comparison with, say, virtual reality devices. The Mojo, for example, has a field of view of 15 degrees, which is tiny. The HoloLens has 43 degrees, and the Magic Leap 70 degrees, which is still a considerable distance away from where VR is at the moment. Rewind 10 years ago, and I thought we'd all be wearing AR glasses in 2020, but it's clear that there are serious hurdles in our way. That being said, every phase of VR's future is being developed right now, whether that's AR, VR, or even brain-computer interfaces. The future is being pushed forward, and they're all being pushed forward together. We may only make small progress, but these products do work, and they will be our future. Facebook's biggest bet is within the AR space. This whole VR journey is for that purpose, to develop this technology. Today we explore virtual worlds with our bulky headsets. Tomorrow, a slick pair of glasses will replace that, and soon after that, contact lenses will eliminate that need entirely. But soon, in the not so distant future, brain interfaces like the ones seen in Sword Art Online and Ready Player 2 will become a reality, and that's what I explore in this video. If you like this video,
And as they put the matrix in there for the example that I was saying, but it's really we're going to start walking into our movies and shows and games, so I hope you guys are ready. This is going to be epic. That is about it for this episode of Reel2Code Show. I cannot wait to keep coming back here with some more news. There's so much going on. I didn't even get into half of the stuff that I really wanted to talk about today, but I'm going to keep these episodes a little bit shorter, straight to the point, a little bit more interesting. With all that said, you're legendary. You are a legend. And I cannot appreciate you enough for hanging around and listening to what I have to say. I hope it was valuable to you. If it was, and you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It means a lot to the channel. It means a lot to the community. And please like the video. Please share it with anybody you think that will find it useful. And we'll see you next time. Be well, and talk to you soon.